Inside Higgsfield, hover over Video and select the 𝗩𝗏 3.0 model. Before I show you some examples, let's quickly go over the settings. Here you can upload a start frame and end frame, and down here is where you put your prompt. Enhance optimizes your prompt for the best results. It doesn't cost any extra credits, so I just always keep this on. This audio toggle lets you choose whether or not you want audio to also be generated, and 𝗩𝗏 3.0 does audio really well, as you'll see in a bit. It does cost more credits though, so if you're gonna be putting your own music on the video or your own sound effects, just turn this off. I'll go over elements in more detail later, so we'll just ignore that one for now. You can select the length of the video anywhere from 3 to 15 seconds, with longer videos costing more credits. Here you can select the resolution of the generated video. 1080p costs about 15% more credits than 720p, so if I'm generating something that I know is going to be watched on a phone, I'll sometimes opt for 720p since the extra quality isn't super noticeable on a small screen. But for videos that I know will be played on a computer or TV screen, I use 1080p for the extra clarity. Okay, so let's start with single image to video. This is where you give the model one image and a prompt, and it generates a video from that. Your prompt tells the model what moves, how it moves, what the camera does, and other details like lighting. I'll add this image that I generated as my start frame. By the way, you can find all the prompts I used to generate these images below the video. I'll prompt something like, the man is taking a selfie video holding a perfume bottle. He says, hey guys, this is the new 𝗩𝗏 3.0 perfume and it smells fantastic. Natural handheld camera shake. I'm adding the natural handheld camera shake part so that it looks like the man's actually holding the camera. Obviously, I want audio to be generated for this video, so I'll make sure audio is toggled on. How I like to select the length of the video is, I just imagine what the scene would look like in my head and count how many seconds I think it would take. So for example, in this video, I think it might take him about 5 seconds to say that sentence, so I'll set this to 7 seconds just to give it a little more breathing room. I find that doing this leads to more natural results, because if you try to cram too much direction into too short of a time frame, the output can sometimes feel off. I'll use 1080p since it's for this tutorial which you're likely going to be watching on a computer. It took about 2 minutes for that video to generate. Let's take a look.
Hey guys, this is the new 𝗩𝗏 3.0 perfume bottle, and it smells fantastic.
Okay, that looks pretty flawless to me. You can see the natural handheld camera shake for that filmed on a phone UGC look. The micro movements in his face when he talks is super realistic. It even nailed the way the liquid moves inside the bottle. But the craziest part is that he pulls the bottle close to his nose before saying it smells fantastic, even though I didn't specifically prompt for that movement. That means the model was able to interpret the context of what we were prompting for.
Perfume bottle, and it smells fantastic.
Let's look at a few more examples.
I might look clean, but I'm dirtier than your toilet.
For the audio, the model will sometimes also generate music on top of sound effects, so if you don't want that, just add this prompt saying no music, only sound effects. Okay, so with this example, I want to highlight something. Notice how when it's zoomed into the watch, the text here becomes really obscured. The reason for this is because the text in my starting image was very small, so I don't think the model could clearly interpret the text, and it's just doing its best with what I gave it. To fix that, we're going to use the Elements feature. This is where you can create profiles for different assets that you can reference within your prompt. Let me show you how that works. I'm going to create a new element and upload these different images of different angles of the watch, with one of them clearly showing the text. I'll give it a name, and in this drop-down menu, you can categorize it as either a character, location, or prop. I'll select prop and hit create. So now I'm going to go back to my prompt and reference the element by typing the @ symbol and selecting it from my library. What this does is it gives the model more visual information to work with on top of our starting image. Because without the element, the only visual reference that it has is our starting image, but by providing this element that was built around different angles of that same subject, it essentially has more visual context to build our video around. Now you can see that even when the camera zooms in on the watch, no details are obscure because it knows what the watch looks like even from up close based on the element I added in the prompt.